When you think of vampires, you immediately get that image of a powerful creature, ambushing from the shadows and striking down foes. And of course, blood. Lots of blood. I had always hoped to achieve a build that could deliver that same satisfaction in ESO, and with this one, I think I have. It's not going to be a meta build. It may not work in every situation in the game. But if you are looking for something that is fun in PvE and can wipe a public dungeon with ease in a satisfying manner, then this may be the build for you. I have had so much fun with it I thought I just had to share it. The Nightblade class is brilliant for a vampire theme, with many fitting skills that will work in well for this. Combining these skills with some very fitting armor sets makes for a very satisfying vampire roleplay build. I am no professional at doing builds, so if anyone spots something I'm missing, have suggestions or improvements, please do drop them in the comments. Let's begin with our attributes. Here we have 30 into Magicka and 34 into health. As we are using a few skills that cost health, it helps to have more to play with. Also, more health will boost the damage of the synergy from our monster set. Purifying Bloody Mara is the buff drink we use in this build, mainly as it has a higher max health boost, which is also going to give a little more damage to the monster set synergy. Additionally, I am usually at Vampire Stage 2 here, for the main reason of the Strike from the Shadows passive, although Stage 3 would give you access to the Undeath passive benefits as well if you feel you need those. The Mundus stone used is the Shadow, increasing critical damage and healing by 17%. As this drink decreases our Vampire Stage by 1, firstly I would feed up one more stage than you need, and then chug this. Then you're ready to party. So, let's take a look at the sets used. All very fitting sets for the heavily vampiric roleplay theme. Firstly, the monster set is Lady Thorn. Very thematic, it spawns a blood ball when we use a skill that costs health, dealing damage that scales off the synergy activator's max health. So the more health we have, the higher the damage this should do. Next there's the Hollowfang Thirst set. Another thematic set. This gives us some nice critical chance, and also helps with sustain. And yes, another delicious blood ball. Now for the third thematic set. Macabre Vintage set. This gives us a bunch of weapon and spell damage, but the best part is the dying enemies blow up in a burst of blood. Delightful! So the final combination of all of these sets make for a completely satisfying bloodbath. Back bar weapon can be anything really. I just have the Maelstrom staff here as that's what I had laying around. Whatever two-piece benefits best. Moving on to the skills we use. Starting with the back bar, first we have Shadowy Disguise. Found in the Shadow skill line, this gives us 10% damage to monsters, and the next direct damage attack will critically strike. This is also important for the Strike from the Shadows passive, which we will get to in a moment. Minor Protection is a nice added bonus too. Next we have Merciless Resolve from the Assassination skill line. This is our source of Major Prophecy and Major Savagery, increasing weapon and spell critical by 26-29. Mainly slotted passively, but the stack is a good emergency damage and heal burst if necessary. Next is Channeled Acceleration of the Psijic Order skill line. This is for minor force to increase critical by 10%. Also, Major Expedition is helpful too for speeding up movement between dungeon mobs. Now for the fun skill, Bloody Contingency. This is a scribing skill found in the Mage's Guild skill line. There are a few viable options that you could go for with this skill. Just whatever you prefer. As I'm going the full vampire bloodbath vibe here, focus script is going to be bleed damage, with signature script, Warrior's Opportunity, and the affix script of Breach, as none of the other scripts give us anything else useful that we already have. Instead of Warrior's Opportunity, Lingering Torment is an option, if you prefer some damage over time instead. And instead of Bleed, one such as Flame damage, or any other damage type could do well here too. Whatever one's personal preference. Lastly, on the back bar, we have Siphoning attacks. From the Siphoning skill line, this will give us some passive healing and resource regeneration as we do damage. And our back bar ultimate is Soul Harvest. This is slotted to feed us ultimate as we kill enemies, so as we can use the Vampire Lord ultimate quicker. On to the front bar. First we have Lotus Fan, Assassination skill line. This will be our first contact with enemies after buffing up. It also has a nice AoE which damages and debuffs enemies hit, taking more damage. Next is the first of the vampire skills used here, Blood for Blood. One of the main spammables we use. Damage is good, and as we are using Sated Fury, it can increase if our health drops too. And costing health, it will also be the main way we control timing our monster set synergy spawn. Sap Essence is next, from the Siphoning skill line. I usually try to activate this straight after the first Lotus Fan leap to catch enemies with it, so we gain the Major Brutality and Sorcery 20% damage boost. Also, it's just a good secondary AoE spammable. Also from the Siphoning skill line here is Swallow Soul, mainly used for the extra heal in slightly longer fights. The second vampire skill used is Sated Fury. When on, this gives us extra weapon and spell damage per stack, at the cost of health drain. Which, as long as you keep moving and dropping enemies, it shouldn't be too bad. And lastly, the front bar and main ultimate is Swarming Scion, to complete our Vampire Lord fantasies. Now for some passives. Grab them all if you can, of course. Dark Stalker and Strike from the Shadows are the key ones we benefit from the most in this skill line. Strike from the Shadows is procced by the Shadowy Disguise skill. So as long as we are stage 2 vampirism and strike within 6 seconds of coming out of it, we get the increased damage. Undeath can also be good for survival if you go for stage 3. Naturally, we pick up all the class passives as we use skills from all 3 lines. Weapon skill passives, I go with double Inferno Staves, but as we aren't using any weapon skills, any weapon of choice can go here. I suspect Dual Wield would be a good alternate option here as it does have some good passives. As we are in full light armor, be sure to grab all of those. And as our scribed skill Bloody Contingency is from the Mages Guild, we need these ones too. Psijic Order are also needed. Racial skills, of course. And the usual handy alchemy and provisioning ones to boost our consumables. And finally on to the champion points. In fitness slots we have Boundless Vitality for more health, Fortified for some additional armor, siphoning spells for some Magicka recovery, and rejuvenation for resource recovery. And I have all the non-slottable points picked up here too. It doesn't really matter what you pick out of craft, whatever you value most. I have picked Steed's Blessing, Master Gatherer, Gifted Rider, and Sustaining Shadows. And again, picking up as much of the non-slottables as possible here. In Warfare we have Master at Arms to increase our direct damage attacks by 6%. Deadly Aim to increase single target attacks by 6%. Wrathful Strikes to give 205 weapon and spell damage. And Biting Aura to increase our AoE attack damage by 6%. Another possibility is Occult Overload for some additional explosive action. But as they are required to be under a status effect, it can be trickier to pull off, so I didn't find it to be worth faffing with. So, with all that gone through, let's see it in action. First, to buff up, we toggle on Sated Fury to get that ticking up to 5 stacks. Second, Channeled Acceleration. Third, Shadowy Cloak, ready to strike from the shadows. Fourth, we prime Bloody Contingency. And now the fun begins. Launching our attack with Lotus Fan, which triggers Bloody Contingency. If anyone is still standing after that, then quickly get a Sap Essence off to get it triggered. Then a cheeky Blood for Blood, that will then spawn our Monster Set synergy for yet more satisfying bloodshed. Ah, delicious! So, that about wraps this up. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is a first for me, so I hope I have conveyed it in a sensible manner. And if you do give this build a go, have fun. May we all dance in a rain of blood together.
So goodbye for us. You have to say it, baby. And us in Texas, you wanna try